अब हमारे भाई बलदीप सिंह जी को मैं दे रहा हूँ। आप गुरबानी और ये एक अभी अनाथ कंजर्वेटरी ऑफ म्यूजिक सुल्तानपुर लोधी में स्टैब्लिश कर रहे हैं और उन्होंने जो संगीत के जो म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट थे जो विच वर ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ एक्सटिंक्शन उनको हैंड क्राफ्टिंग करके उनको दोबारा रिवाइव किया है। हम सब इनके ऋणी हैं इससे बढ़िया काम के लिए। मैं इनको दावत देता हूँ तो उनके लिए तशरीफ लाएं और वक्त का जरा ख्याल रखिए, खुद भी जल्दी में है इसलिए इनको पहले बुलाया जा रहा है। और इन द मीन टाइम मैं हमारी रजनीका तिवारी जी का स्वागत करता हूँ। वो जीसीजी कॉलेज के वोकल के हेड हैं, अपने शागिर्दों के साथ यहाँ तशरीफ लाए हैं। उसके अलावा डॉक्टर गांधी साहब मुझे नजर आए, उनका धन्यवाद। और डॉक्टर ओ.सी. सुदेश शर्मा सेक्रेटरी पंजाब सिंगिंग अकेडमी, सभी का स्वागत है। आइए डॉक्टर साहब।
Director of the Northern Culture Center, Dr. Gill, my colleague to the dais, Pandit Yashpal ji, and other practitioners in love with music. A very good afternoon to all of you. And Sat Sri Akal. I've been delving in a different field, but not 24 hours. And today, a friend of mine wrote, Professor Sarabjot Bahl wrote a little, I think it was a haiku, not a poet, but I think it was a haiku. And I responded, this is more of a disclaimer. But my response was, कि मिल गई मंजिल मिला मुकाम, ना राह रहे ना हम राही, ना पत्थर मिले ना कंकर अब, आसमान से टपकते हैं टूट कर फूलों से पत्ते, कुछ मुरझाई कलियां हम पर सूख कर, हम तो कब के टूटे खंडर हुए, कांटों की चोंच पर बसर कुछ करते हैं कुछ सबर अब. So just a little disclaimer that I've entered a little political, I've turned, they say, a little political, although I'm not a politician. And this is the first attempt at writing about music after many months. And I thank Dr. Gill for this invitation. And I'm glad that I wrote some about music. These are some of the thoughts, and the first thought that came was about the Patiala Gharana as such, and I'm very grateful to my fellow participants about one, the history of quote-unquote Patiala Gharana, and some of the other elders who have been mentioned, and some history. So my question was Patiala Gharana, about the need for further research. The whole idea of a gharana is, there's so many mixed as an observer. I mean, I'm also an observer first. साढ़े सारियां च पहला कदर पैदा होती है संगीत दी, सीखना फिर शुरू होता है. थोपिया बहुत घट जाता है. थोपे होने हैं तो बच्चों घट ही देते होते हैं. They don't last much. जे last वही करता है जिसे जगत कदर पैदा हो जाए. So we are first. At least I am an observer and a student first, and I'm a ruthless researcher. And contemporary relevance of Patiala Gharana is what the respected C.S.C. Sarma has requested us all to focus. I mean, I learned about this only a few minutes ago. But what would be any contemplation about relevance today when the musical history of Patiala is not properly chronicled, nor the musical spectrum of the music of erstwhile Punjab honestly researched, studied and understood? You see, many times musicians and musical families tend to remember that which is relevant to them, which only celebrates them, and they especially forget events which somehow dwarfed their musical ancestors. They don't remember those. And without all of the musical history, I mean, you cannot speak about roses without, as I said, you cannot understand any genre, and especially music, until you honestly are a student of music. Appropriations happen. Now, Jawad Bhai although claimed to speak about the present, so I'm going to be very honest with you. And I have a long association with Jawad Bhai. And about the presence of only the truths. But I'm afraid not many were highlighted. For example, the ignorance about the actual musical spectrum of Punjab was evident. Dismissal of the old traditions such as Sufi music, as if their exponents were some simpletons, as if. That is, the absence of the Gurbani music, I'm glad Manjri did make a mention about that. As if it did not exist at all. He was not perhaps an honest witness, may I say. Or at best he was an ignorant one. How can one ignore the Sham Sharasi Gharana, for example? The students of Khandarwani they were, and especially the Talbandi Gharana, which of course you mentioned very, very beautifully. Now there is a lot said about the linkage of many musicians with Baba Bairam Khan of Jaipur. Only a few remember about the employment of the legendary Baba at the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Ustad Zia Fadluddin Khan of the Dagarwani Dhurbat remembered the 11-worded title that Maharaja Ranjit Singh conferred upon his ancestor, Baba Bairam Khan. The legendary Pakhavaj exponent Baba Maiya Singh was also one of the most important musicians of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who was given a jagir called Maiye K. His father, Bhai Mansa Singh, was the Nai of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And he had received the 2 rupee per day wazifa to study the percussion traditions. And these 3 maestros came from the Amritsari Baj. The Pakhavaj tradition related to the tradition of Sultan Purlo the Amritsari Baj that I had the honor of reviving is directly related to the legendary Baba Maiya Singh, who also played a lot with and mentored Baba Bairam Khan. In the 90s, after I revived the oldest Pakhavaj and Jodi tradition of South Asia, I played again and extensively discussed with the descendant of Baba Bairam Khan, Ustad Wazifa Khan of the Dagarwani Dhurbat. There is no mention of the researches that Baba Bairam Khan did in Punjab, his association with Khandarwani and the Talbandi Gharanas. Now, for example, what is the Khandarwani and Talbandi? Many people, we all know, one composition I would have given the illustration much later. This composition, I'll hum in Adana, for example, was composed by Atar Khan Gulab Khan Talbandi Gharana in honor of Aurangzeb, Emperor Aurangzeb. And 2 people, of course, the adherents of the Dagarwani Dhurbat and Ustad Muhammad Baksh Haryanvi from Pakistan remembered this composition. There was a little variation, but the one that I remembered, I'll ignore my voice. This is Khandarwani, sung by the Dagarwani. Where did this music come from? So we're forgetting about the interactions between the ancient traditions. We talk of Sufi music. We talk of Gurbani. Who is the oldest author in Gurbani? How many of us remember it's Baba Sheikh Farid, the Murshid of Hazrat Nizamuddin, in whose village I live in Delhi. Sometimes that is. There are two compositions that I have received, one from the Rababi tradition and one from my family tradition. Originals of Baba Sheikh Farid. I dare to sing with my whole hoarse voice, so bear with me. Just look at the musical marvel of Baba Sheikh Farid in Rag Suhi, which does not exist in Indian classical music. It remembers Suha. For example, again the Talwandi exponents at the court of Emperor Akbar, when I went to Lahore to recite the Kandar Wani, Rangajalayo Jalaluddin, Rangajalayo Jalaluddin, Akbar Tampur Rajayo Gadatar Rangajalala, Gadatar Konivas Shahinam, Shahi Kancha, Barakat, Kino Tadaveta, the Log, Jagadabab, Gadadariya, Barakadara. Sukhdev, Akbar की तारीफ तलवंडी वाले ने गाया और वो सामने खड़े होकर गाते थे तारी लाके. That was the culture. Nobody sat in front of them. अपने जयललिता सामने भी कुर्सियां नहीं होंगी. If you go to Tamil Nadu, even she does not allow anyone to sit in front of her. There is only one chair which she sits. So imagine the mighty emperors of Delhi and of course earlier Agra. So these are some of the things which are not remembered. The interactions, the beautiful respect, if I may say like that, the honest remembrance, academic integrity, semantic precision, these are gone, these have been trashed, these values are gone. I will only remember which will make sure Bible leaps in the 13th generation, the greatest musical lineage, snob like that, I don't recognize, don't know anyone else. As my own Dada Bhai said, "Oh, tu kithe jayega sikhne mein? Sadhe kola sangeet." That's a rhetoric. But there were other grandmothers who said, "Shabash, shabash, you're doing fine. Continue that. Go and research." There are always all those kinds of people. So then I ended up titling "Missing Histories of the Music of Patiala, if at all." Questions are plenty. Because histories have been remembered and kuch khayal mein share karke dota jaunga. Patiala Gharana is not the oldest among the Gharanas, but to say that it is one of the most famous among the various musical Gharanas of South Asia would not be an exaggeration, as you all mentioned. But then, if one were to look at the history of Patiala Gharana, music did not originate here, but was practiced, or to be more precise, music was merely practiced here. And which you all mentioned about the confluence, the convergence of four schools. I has also mentioned about how Kasur came out of four Gharanas, how the division is set, and so on and so forth. So I'm basically referring to that. I'm glad there is a reference I can relate to here within the seminar. The need of the hour is not to repeat over and over that which has been said and fed to us over the recent decades. Instead, we need to now think out of the box perhaps and research if there was more than what has been stated so far. Were Khayal and Thumri the only musical genres practiced at Patiala? No, I'm talking at Patiala. Because I'm interested in the broader musical spectrum of Patiala, not just the history of one family or one musical lineage. There were so many lineages. Were Khayal and Thumri the only musical genres practiced at Patiala, or was there existence of other genres such as Drupad and Shant Prabhan? Were there other instruments such as Veena, Rabab, Surbahar, Mardang and Pakhavaj, or Pakhavaj prevalent than the Sarangi, Harmonium and Tabla? If these were indeed present, and we know that these were present, we need to research about their arrival and practice. Where from did these instruments come? Their playing styles and illusory or musical instrument making skill and techniques. Did the musical style that become native to Patiala belong to a Gharana or Wani, or was it instead a blend of many Wanis? Now I'm not talking about the four existing Gharanas, I'm talking about the Wanis. And no understanding of musical style schools will be understood without relating them to the prevalent Wanis and then to the Chandraman Dhruva Matha. That is understanding the histories. For sure there must have been other maestros who sang here apart from the famous Alia Fatu or the famous Karnail Jarnail Jo. Late Raja Dr. Nirgendra Singh of Patiala, with whom I was very closely associated over the last 15 or 18 years of his life, used to tell the story of another legendary musician who was part of the delegation that went went to Nepal, subsequent to which Ali Fateh duo became famous. He was a Drupad exponent belonging to the Khandarwani. The story is told by Raja Mrugendra Singh was that when the Khandarwani maestro sang the sargams in scintillating a manner in his alap, stunning all listeners and musicians who were present, he was asked about the presence of sargams in Drupad. It is important to note that the late Raja Mrugendra Singh, apart from his prowess on Sobhar and Sitar, remembered a lot of Drupad compositions and also had studied the art of playing Bhavat. Now, where did these two forms of musical knowledge, if I may, come from? The point is that there was much more music happening within the walls of the Royal Court of Patiala, and it was fine music, it was not just ordinary music. And it is a pity that stories about the learning, practice and propagation of sorts of Khayal and Tumri brands of Patiala have only been told so far, especially since India got fragmented in 1947. Unless we research and celebrate more than merely the story of Patiala, Khayal and Tumri, we would not be doing justice to the musical legacy of Patiala. It will only be an incomplete story. There is a lot in the untold stories of Patiala, or Gharana. The researchers need to take this up, for they owe it to the music lovers and students alike, for its relationship to the Gwalior school and others, about which we occasionally hear about, is only one of a kind. What about the musical relationship with the erstwhile state of Sarhand? Especially after it was conquered by Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, and the exodus of musicians to other adjacent kingdoms and zamidaris, but especially to Patiala. What about the relationship with the Gurbani Singhi traditions? Via the legends such as Rababi Pai Kalu and Mahant Gaja Singh. According to Harjab Singh Aujla, descendant of one of the erstwhile aristocratic families of Kapurthala, Mahant Gaja Singh studied Drupad and Taos from my great-grandfather, the legendary Baba Jwala Singh, Ragi of Thathatapa, now situated in Tehsil Sultanpur, Kapurthala, Punjab. Now, most of the Patiala court's musical history students and followers would be aware of the legend related to Bhaurja's visit to Patiala. The king of Patiala had sent numerous messages, Maharaja Bhupendra Singh, of course, to her. But she never came. Many grand musicians had carried the messages, but she had declined and dismissed all of them. Mahant Gaja Singh smiled at the destroyed Maharaja Patiala and said to him, Maharaja Sahib, I will bring her to Patiala if you wish. It's my translation, you can speak in English, of course. He went to Calcutta, tuned his taus and began playing the alarm of Rag Vadhans. Within a few minutes, the grand lady of Indian classical music used to charge or used to be honored with 2,000 rupees. At that time, they say he was the highest paid musician at that time. She came down and sat in front of the legendary Mahant. Teary-eyed, she begged of him to stop or else, quote unquote, I will go mad. Again, the translation is mine. She exclaimed. She invited him to her mansion. He said, not unless you promise to come to my abodes at the Royal Court of Patiala. That's how she came. So imagine what was the Rag Vadhans Mahant would play. That a grand lady like Bhaurja would come teary-eyed and say, well, please come home. You cannot sit out. And also, as I said, of the great uncle, Baba Jwala Singh. The Vadhans Rag doesn't exist, they say, as Vadhans in the Indian classical music. This is one of the 31 in Guru Granth. Raja Mrugendra Singh of the erstwhile royal family of Patiala used to play the Brahmbaj, which he studied from the Prince of Kapurthala, Raja Padamjit Singh, who is said to have carried forward the legacy of Mir Nasir Ali, the direct descendant of Mian Tansen, who used to live in Kapurthala. Therefore, what about the relationship with the music that happened in the Royal Court of Kapurthala? What about the relationship with the Royal Court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh? That is, what was the impact of the conversations and learnings of the royal family with the learned members of other royal families in India on the music that was celebrated in Patiala and even shaped the choices that the members of the royal family of Patiala made in their respective eras? Who was Ustad Mir Nasir Ali? He was captured by the British after it took over. They captured Delhi. After they sent Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, he was also captured because he carried cabinet rank in the records. The Maharaja of Kapurthala intervened. He was a personal friend of the king and said, no, but he's not. He dresses. He has all all the assets and privileges of a cabinet minister, but he's a descendant of Mian Tansel. He will not instigate any revolt. They said, no, but we cannot take the risk. And he said, I will take him to Kapurthala with a promise, and he took him there. And that effect, that is pre-quote-unquote Patiala Gharana eras. There may have been one music that was practiced by a particular set of musicians who served in the royal court of Patiala, while there are other forms of music practiced by some members of the royal court family itself. Researching about all of these stories would be painting the complete story of Patiala, quote-unquote Gharana. Now Vanis, there were 4 Vanis, namely Khanderi, Nauhari, Gaurhari and Dagar. The elders with whom I have had the honor of being associated called Khanderi as the oldest among all of these Vanis, and I'm a formal student of a few of them, not just one Vani. They say it is associated with the Gandharva, which perhaps got either corrupted or transformed into Gandhari or Kandhari, and then perhaps eventually Khanderi Vani. According to Malikzada Muhammad Hafiz Khan Khanderi Talwandi Wale of Raipur, not far from the present Ludhiana, who lived in Faisalabad, and whose family traces its lineage back to the Nayaks, sons of the legendary Mohre Mosiki Malikzada Meher Ali Khan. Both he and his elder brother, Ustad Muhammad Abdul Khan sang